Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, or welcome if you're new. I'm Alice, and today's video is a bit of a different one. It's going to be like a chatty, get ready with me style of video. I did ask for questions over on my Instagram, which I'll put a link to in the bio, in my, not bio, what's it called, description, because I've forgotten what the handle is. But I didn't really get any questions that I felt I could answer, so I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to talk at you. And we're going to focus a lot on where I've been, why I've not uploaded since the end of January. So let's just get started. I'm going to do my makeup because that seemed like fun. So for most of this video you're going to get Alice with no fringe, which to be fair doesn't look too bad, so we're all good. Can we also appreciate you're the first people I've properly spoken to this morning, so my voice is all a bit all over the place, and also I might have to stop filming because I might get a phone call, so it's all great. So let's just start with why I haven't uploaded anything. I think I said in like last September time that this year I might not be as actively posting because I had GCSEs and all of that fun stuff, and up until January this year we thought, oh yeah, they're going ahead, which was really stressful because we knew there was going to be like reduced content and that it wasn't going to be the same as normal exams, but it was still very much what's actually going on, and nobody really knew what was quite going on. And to be completely honest, I've forgotten what we did know because everything changed. There's a mirror down here in case you're wondering why I keep looking down. But obviously then we got locked down in January, the beginning of January. I can't even remember when that was, to be honest. And schools shut, which was a good step because normally the government have been, yeah, no, we don't want to shut schools. They shut schools and went, and we appreciate GCSEs can't go ahead as normal. And it's very important that we realise what they said, that they said something along those lines and they didn't say GCSEs are cancelled, because so many people thought, oh, so we don't have to exams, what's the point of us going back into school? But because they said as normal, it meant there was going to be plans as to what was actually going to happen, and other stuff was going to happen instead. God, this looks a mess, I'm so sorry. But obviously that happened in January. Then they were focusing on telling the country what was going to happen for them more than what was happening for GCSEs, because that impacts less people than the whole country. So it makes sense. It was just very annoying because we were obviously sitting at a computer doing our lessons, knowing nothing about what was happening for our exams. The exams that we're being told are the most important exams we're going to sit until we sit the next lot of exams. And so then I think we got some guidance when they came out with their roadmap. We got some guidance after that, and then they're like, oh yeah, you'll get the rest of the guidance by this date. And then they gave us this guidance and they went, actually you'll find out properly what you can do at the end of March, which by that point we'd been back at school for 2 to 3 weeks. So it was very much based on the fact that like you can use teacher assessed grades, you can use these assessments, yada da da da, but we'll tell you what you can and can't use properly in a couple of weeks. So we went back to school and like, right, you're going to sit these exams. We sat, it sounded worse than it was. We only actually sat like 1 exam, I think, before Easter. Or did we sit 2? That's really heavy. I don't know how many we sat, but we sat some exams before Easter. And then over Easter, the guidance got sent out, and we'd been sent home with different resources we'd need for what they were expecting to do, which is what they ended up doing. So our school did mini assessments in every topic. So we got given a revision list of topics that we needed to revise from for each test. So we were basically told what would be in each test, and we'd only revise that stuff in lesson. So for example, for my English literature exams, they're probably the easiest ones to describe what happened. We did one poetry exam, unseen poetry exam. So we just practiced how to do those types of questions, and then we did that exam. And then we did one exam that was either Macbeth or A Christmas Carol, and you got to choose your question because they test the same skills. They test if you can answer an extract question. So we spent 3 lessons revising for that. So we had 1 lesson revising Macbeth, and we spent our time focusing on Lady Macbeth. And then we spent 1 lesson focusing on A Christmas Carol, and we spent our time focusing on poverty. And then we spent 1 lesson revising how to answer a question and how to structure your essay for that answer. so that we were completely equipped. And obviously every class in our year got the same lessons, so everybody was being taught the same things, and our teachers could only say certain things, and they could lead us into certain other things, but they couldn't say things. You kind of had to be there for this to make any sense, so if this doesn't make sense, I'm sorry. And so we knew that the questions were going to be on either Lady Macbeth or poverty, and you could choose which one. We didn't know what extract was going to come up. We didn't know the exact wording of the question, because there's always like a qualifier word. So the question about Lady Macbeth could have been, how does Shakespeare use Lady Macbeth to portray femininity, power, masculinity, supernatural, gender, not femininity, masculinity? In the end, the question was actually, how does she change, or something along those lines. But we weren't sure on what the question was going to be, but we knew it was going to be on Lady Macbeth. Whereas in the actual exam, it had been, you could have had any of these characters, any of these themes, and you have to learn all of the quotes. You have to do this question and a Christmas Carol question in an hour and 45. But we had 45 minutes to do one of those two questions. So we knew what was going to come up in the assessments in a broad sense, in that we knew what we needed to revise. Because we'd missed so much teaching, it was the most beneficial way. And I know some schools did proper mocks and stuff, or not even mocks, but like proper exam windows. We didn't. Our schools used our mocks and those mini assessments. So I did like 28 exams instead of, I think I figured out I would have done like 22 exams if I'd have done normal GCSEs, whereas I have only actually done 28 exams since we went back in March. But then we did 2 lots of mocks, which get counted as well, and half of the exams we've done haven't been over 1 lesson. So it's like, for our English language exams, we spent 3 lessons doing 1 exam. So it's long. And yeah, so for English we did 2 English language tests. Well, if we only count the ones we've done since March, because the ones we did before hopefully won't count as much. It kind of depends on how well we did in them. So we did 2 English language mock papers, so 1 a paper 1, 1 paper 2. We did 1 Macbeth question. We did 1 extract question, so either Macbeth or Christmas Carol. We did 1 unseen poetry exam, and you had to do a comparison one as well. So we did an unseen poetry, and then we had like not 15 minutes, half an hour I think we did it in, comparing the unseen poem that we'd done to a different poem. And then we did a Blood Brothers exam, and then so we've done, I don't know how many exams that was. So we did 2 English language and 3 kind of 4 English literature. And then for PE I didn't have to do any exams. We just did loads and loads and loads and loads and loads of coursework, all crammed into a not a very long time. They didn't plan our time very well at all. Because we do BTEC sport, you have to do so many different units, and we've only actually done the work for 1 of the units, because the first unit is an exam unit, and we didn't sit the exam because we should have sat the exam last year, so they banked our grades for that. The second unit we couldn't do because of lockdown last year, so they banked our grades for that. Unit 3 was decided they would cut, and they didn't need that, so we started doing that, and then we were told we didn't need that work, so I could have spent the hours that I spent doing that on something else, which is really annoying. And unit 6 was the one we've actually done the work for, so you had to, it's like all the attributes, and you have to plan a sports lesson, and deliver the sport. You have to plan 2 lessons and deliver 1 of the sports lessons. So we spent ages doing this coursework, and then every lesson we had in school was a practical lesson doing everybody's lesson plans, but they spent forever preparing some of us to do them and practicing their sessions, but only like 1 group of people actually got to practice their sessions, and then we all got told the day we were doing our session, you're doing your session today, so we didn't get any time to prepare. And then we had to do an evaluation, and they didn't give us enough time to do the evaluation, so that was fun. Drama is kind of the same, but for the first 2 units we had kind of done the work anyway, but they banked our grades. I don't know why I'm still powdering my face. I've been sitting powdering my face for the past like 5 minutes. We'd done the work and they banked our grades last year, and then we did unit 3, the last unit, the devising unit. We did that this year. And let me tell you, that wasn't fun, because we started it over lockdown. Well, we couldn't devise anything because we were at home, so we couldn't be in the studio to devise, so that was fun. So yeah, that was drama, and so then we did our practical stuff, and then we've done our logs, but that's fine, drama's drama. Dance we did, I've got foundation in my nostril, great. What did we do in dance? We did 2 exams, like we were only supposed to do one written exam, but they did 2, which was fine. I don't really care, they're quite easy. And to be fair, with the GCSE dance exam you can blag your way through it most of the time. And then so yes, we did 2 exams, 2 written exams, and then we did performed one of the pieces you had to learn, so we performed Shift. And then you're supposed to do your solo choreography from the stimulus, well we were doing it as solos this year, and a duo trio from the other 2 set studies that you don't learn or don't perform. And Sir cut the choreography, which is really annoying because I'd finished mine, really proud of my choreography, and he cut the choreography and he made us do the duo trio instead, which was fine, and we filmed those Monday. And then history, I've done 3 exams. We did 1 on Nazi Germany, 1 on medicine, 1 on Cold War. German, I've done 3 written exams, 3 reading exams, 3 listening exams, which was fun. But to be fair, the way my German teacher made us do our German exams, she prepped us by doing all the lessons for whatever the topic was on. So we did 1 on environment, 1 on school, and 1 on holidays. So we had 3 lessons revising all of the stuff we'd done in previous years. So she literally got her lesson plans from all of the lessons we'd done on those subjects in year 8 and year 9 and year 10, and then she taught us all of that over again, and we literally did the lesson plans again in 3 lessons. And then at the end of the lesson she'd give us questions that could be questions for in your writing exam, and she gave us those questions and said you can write these out. And a good way to practice for German or any any language writing exam is to write, and that's the only way you can really revise, is to write, learn vocab, and so for writing exams write, for listening and reading learn vocab and practice being immersed in that language. So she was like, if you do it, email me, I'll give you feedback and learn your answers, because even if these questions don't come up, if you learn what you've written you can write the questions, but pretty much the questions came up anyway. So German was pretty easy. And then what else did I do? Maths, we did 6 assessments. Science, God, science was a mess because we did 3 biology papers. We were supposed to do 1 chemistry and 1 physics paper, but we had something happen at school which meant that the exams got a bit thrown off. I mean, everything at school got a bit thrown off for a week, but the incident that happened didn't affect our year group directly. To her, it only affected 1 year group directly, but it affected the whole school. So we had time off and all sorts, and we came back in and nobody quite knew what was going on with our exams, and that was the only effect that the whole thing had on our year group, to be honest, was the uncertainty of what was going to happen with our exams. And so they cancelled, the incident happened on a school day, and then obviously we had the rest of the time off, but we were supposed to have an exam the day the incident happened. So that biology paper got moved, and we did the biology paper was it the same time, just the following week? Yeah, it was the same time, but the week after. And then I think it was, unless we did it on the Monday, can't remember, but we did the exam. But then we were going to run out of time to do the chemistry and physics papers separately, so they put it together. So in total we did 4 combined science tests, but I also do triple science because of the way our school did it. We were all, my science class, I'm 12 set science, we were all doing science triple science in year 9 and year 10. But then at the end of year 10 they made the decision that it would be something we could opt into, and they've done the same thing with the year 10s, because the year 10s last year didn't start triple, well the year 10s now didn't start triple when they were in year 9, so they got to opt into doing triple science. So the way we do triple science is we do it as a intervention after school on a Friday. And so we had to do all of the combined lessons, and we do all the combined tests, and then we do the extra triple stuff in our triple lessons, and we do those as assessments on Wednesdays. So we did 1 chemistry, 1 physics, and 1 biology. Not in that order. We did biology, then chemistry, then physics. And then yeah, so I did like 7 science exams. I've done a lot of exams basically, and so that's kind of why I haven't posted, because I've been so focused on my exams, but also it's really affected my mental health. And I'm quite anxious anyway. I'm quite an anxious person as it is, always have been, it's in the genes, probably always will be. And I mean, it sucks, but it is what it is, and there's nothing I can do about it. Well, obviously there is stuff I can do about it, but it just is what it is. And I just live with it. Where's my blush? I got very anxious all the time. Like, I'd wake up feeling really anxious, not wanting to go into school, which is really unlike me. And I'd like cry on the way to school, and it would just be a mess. And my English teacher, he has been a godsend. I'd email him being like, I've broke down in tears, I got in the car, broke down in tears, this happened, broke down in tears, can't do this, I'm stressed, can't do this, stressed. He'd take me up to the counsellors, make me talk to the counsellors. I mean, it was horrible, but it helped a lot. And it was okay, like, it was bearable. Obviously it wasn't fun, nothing like that ever is fun, but we got through it. And then the worst one was literally my like penultimate day of exams. I just couldn't, I had to leave my exam, and he literally was like, I'm going to poke my head through the door and check you're okay. And he did, and it was great. He was wonderful. But yeah, so most of the reasons I've not been on here is because I've been examining and worrying about exams, worrying about what happens next, worrying about fun stuff like that. And just being an anxious, emotional, hormonal wreck, really. So yes, but the really ironic thing is I did film a video over Easter. I filmed a musicals battle, which was Mary Poppins the musical versus the first film, the original film. And I've been meaning to post it for ages, but it was 2 separate clips, so I had to edit them together. So I edited them together for the weekend, went to post it at the weekend, and it went, no, can't do that, don't like the file format. So that was fun. So I'm going to have to figure out a way to post that, but this will probably go up before the musicals one anyway. So yes, but I am now finished from school. We finished on school on Monday, and I was talking to my cousin who's, how old is she? She's like 2.5 years older than me. She's a twin. I was only talking to one of them because my mum sent pictures of me and my Leavers hoodie to like all of my family. And then my cousin messaged me like, I didn't know it was your last day today. I was like, yeah, it's weird. I don't feel like I should be leaving. I was talking to her about it, and it's like, it doesn't feel like I sat my GCSEs, which is stupid because I have. I very much sat my GCSEs, but I haven't physically sat any GCSEs. Like, we've done past papers and the papers they sent out for this year and stuff, but we haven't sat in an exam hall and done an exam. It hasn't been how I'd think GCSEs would be. And as much as it stressed me out, I don't think it was anywhere near as stressful as GCSEs should be. Or, well, no, because they shouldn't be stressful. That's like the stupid thing about GCSEs, but they weren't anywhere near as stressful as GCSEs normally are, I think. Obviously I don't know because I've never done GCSEs before. But yeah, so we finished Monday, and Monday was just weird as it was. Like, we finished at break time, but I had to stay to an exam, and then I had to stay all day anyway because my mum wasn't picking me up for forever, which is my own fault. I could have been picked up, but decided I didn't want to be picked up. No, I did want to be picked up. I could have walked, but decided I didn't want to walk. So I had to stay for forever, which was fine. Just a bit of a mess, really. Yeah. So, yeah, we finished on Monday. Today is Wednesday. I go back in on the 29th for 6th form induction. Then we have prom on the 2nd. Prom and a Leavers assembly on the 2nd of July. We have, my school does this thing called Harmony Camp, where the new year 7 intake come in to do like workshops led by current students at the school, and so they can meet older students, meet the students that are going to be in their year group, get to know the school a bit, and the way the school works. It's great. We love family camp. So that's the 2nd to 6th of August, and then the 12th of August is results day, and then I have to go back in September to start my A-levels. So there's a lot going on, but I am free for a bit, which is kind of great. But yeah, but it's like I don't know what to do with myself, and I don't know if I should be doing anything to prepare for A-levels either. I don't think I should be. Something my aunt said, because my aunt teaches at my school, we saw her at the weekend. She said, well, because we were talking about it, and I've broken it up in my head. There's like this week, then next week my mum and sister are home because it's half term. Then it's like 4 or 5 weeks till I have to go back for sixth form induction, and then it's only like 5 or 6 more weeks until the end of the school year, and then there's 6 weeks obviously off, but hopefully by then things should be more normal in terms of like COVID and stuff. And even if it's not, I'm not going to be the only one at home not doing anything, because my dad's at home but he's working, so I can't do things with him. But over like the summer, my sister and my mum will not be at school and work, so. And then I go back in September, so it feels like a long way off because it's like 4 months, but if you break it down, it's not. But also my aunt said that, and also the stuff we've got for sixth form induction said that we'll be given activities and stuff to do between now and not now in September, but sixth form induction in September, to prep us for September. And the A-levels I'm doing, I might as well tell you now, hopefully, assuming all goes to plan, are maths, A-level psychology, and drama. Yeah. Maths and drama were always going to be maths. So I've never really fully known what I wanted to do at A-levels. As a child, I was like, I want to be a teacher, and then I went, no, I want to be an actress. No, I want to be a teacher. No, I want to be a primary school teacher. No, I want to be an actress. No, I want to be a maths teacher. No, I want to be an actress. And now I don't know. So I was always like, I was dead set on maths as a child, and then my dad kind of took me out of it, because he was like, A-level maths is just physics, and I don't like science. I'm okay at science. I'm better than okay. I can do science, I just don't really like it that much, and I don't like the chemical side of things, and I'm not very good at the practical side of things. I'm really good at the maths side of things, especially physics. Like, maths is fine. The actual application, especially of physics, I can't do. I really struggle with physics. If you give me all the equations, I don't even need you to give me all the equations, but if you say, oh, you can do this equation paper, I'd be absolutely fine. As soon as you say, how do stars work? How does radiation work? How does this work? How does that work? I have zero clue. So the idea that A-level maths is just physics was enough to put me off, until year 8, when my maths teacher at the time, who I at the time absolutely loved, went like, if you do A-level maths, you'll get stuck with me. And that kind of went, I want to do A-level maths, and I'd fallen back in love with maths at that point anyway. So from then I was like, I'm doing A-level maths. Nothing you can say is gonna stop me. And then I was like, oh, I want to do A-level drama. So I knew from like year 8 that I was going to do A-level maths and A-level drama. But then I needed a third one, and I didn't know what I wanted my third one to be. For a while I was like, oh, I want to do A-level photography. My school didn't actually offer A-level photography, which means I can't do A-level photography, except they offer it under the consortium, which means that I'd be able to go to a different school in our local catchment area to do A-level photography. But I was looking into A-level photography, and you're supposed to have GCSE art. And I don't, because I don't enjoy art, she says, looking at her wall. And like, my friend said this to me, and she was like, but you're sitting here doing art now. I'm like, yeah, but my idea of art is being able to choose what I want to do and sit down what I want to do for however long I want to do it. And it doesn't need to look nice, it just needs to express something. And obviously my wall does look nice, but school art is like, you have to follow this brief, you have to do it for like 10 hours or whatever, and it's like, I get bored. If I've finished something and you can't give me feedback on what I need to change, I will get bored. And so it wouldn't be fun. So I didn't do A-level, I didn't do GCSE art for that reason. and so I wouldn't be able to do A-level photography because I don't have GCSE art, which is really annoying because I could be really good at photography and really bad at drawing, and I wouldn't be able to do A-level photography because I can't draw. So I didn't do GCSE art, and I just find that a bit stupid, really, but it is what it is. So I was like open to all the other A-level suggestions that we had at school, and we had this like morning where we focused on different A-level options. And before we went in, I was like, oh, I might do A-level English, there were a couple I was looking into. I was like, A-level English looked cool, so before we started it, I can't remember what I was actually looking into, but my brain was like, I'm enjoying English at the moment, A-level English might be quite cool. But then we stopped doing Blood Brothers and I didn't enjoy GCSE English. I was like, there's no way I'm doing A-level English. And I was talking to the English teacher that supported me throughout all of my time at school, because I've been a librarian at school for forever, and she was like, you're not doing A-level English? I was like, no, I don't enjoy it enough. Quite frankly, I don't think I'm good enough. I didn't say this to her, but I don't think I'm good enough at English. My English teacher would tell me, you're fine, you just don't have confidence in yourself. But I think the two go hand in hand. If I don't have enough confidence that I'm good enough at it, I'm not going to do well. I don't enjoy it, and I'm not going to spend my time... I enjoy it if we're doing something I enjoy, but we're not always going to be doing a book I enjoy. And I'm not going to spend my time doing that when there are other things I could be enjoying more. And also, it took away my love for reading for forever, and I stopped reading because I was fed up of doing English at school, and I stopped reading because I didn't enjoy reading because school took it away from me. But hopefully by not having to do English at school, I'll have more time to do reading for pleasure, because I'm not reading for school. So yes, so that's why I'm not doing A-level English. So our school offers so many A-levels, and it's like, I looked into film, we had this like day of different A-level options. I was like, oh, these ones look cool. And then I properly thought about it, and there were only two I was then umming and ahhing about. There was one that's like child development and play. Oh no, childcare and development. I don't know, I can't remember what it's called, but something along those lines. And psychology. And I would love to do the child play one. But the only thing with the child play one is that it mainly focuses on like EYFS, young children, not all children, and so it wouldn't suit what I wanted to. If I went into teaching, that wouldn't necessarily be as helpful as it sounds, because it just focuses on young children, and I never wanted to be that end of the school. So I decided that wasn't good, but psychology looked really interesting, and they talk about gender and... not use that mirror, it's tiny. They talk about gender and different things, and I just think it sounds really cool. And my mum did it. I mean, she did it like 30 years ago, but my mum did it. My uncle's got a degree in it, so it sounds really cool. I'm not just doing it following my family footsteps, but they've said it's really cool, so yes. So that's what I'm doing in September. But other than that, I don't know. I don't really know what else to do about, really. Between now and then, I haven't really got any plans. My mum works in a school, so I'm going in with her, hopefully. Assuming my head of year does me a reference. I emailed him yesterday asking for a reference and he hasn't responded. So hopefully he'll have done that by half term. But yeah, I should, because of the way schools are working at the moment, they're all in bubbles. So my mum and my mum works at my sister's school, so technically I'm in two of the bubbles. The way their school does, they're 2 form entry. There's a bubble for each year, so the 2 classes of the same year are in the same bubble. So my mum's teaching assistant in year 3 and my sister's in year 4. And if I go into their school, I can go into either my mum's year 3 class, the other year 3 class, or the year 4 class that my sister's not in. Because I'll be in those bubbles, technically, because my mum and my sister are in those bubbles, and we're all in the same household. But I don't want to do that every day, because I feel like that's just long. Yeah, I don't know, there's just so much going on, it's like I don't know what to do with myself. So, yeah, leave me some video suggestions in the comments, because I've got more time on my hands than I know what to do with. Yeah. I'm also kind of job hunting because I'm allowed to do that now. I'm 60. But, ow, pinched myself with that eyelash curler. But I applied for a job that everyone's like, oh, Alice, that's a perfect job for you. They'll snatch you up, like, they'll love you. And I didn't get the job. And then some people were like, oh, well, that's a shame, or it's not meant to be. And then my head of year went, no, they haven't got you. Like, thanks. So that's fun. That's what I'm waiting for a phone call from, because I asked them for feedback. And then yesterday, the person who did the interview was like, let me know when you're free and what number to phone you on. It's like, okay, well, I'm done with school, so you can phone me whenever's best for you. And then she phoned me like 2 minutes later, and I was expecting her to tell me, so I didn't pick up the phone, because I don't tend to pick up the phone unless I know who it is, and it was coming from a private number, so I was like, yeah, no, not gonna answer that. And I thought, then my brain went, but what if it's her? What if she's trying to get in contact with her? Well, surely she'd have told me, and if it's important, she'll leave a message. And she did. So I listened to the message, but couldn't get my phone to play the message properly. And then she started phoning me again. I was like, well, I'm trying to listen to your message. So I didn't answer the phone because it was just a mess of too many things going on at once. And so, but then her message said, I'll phone you back in 5-10 minutes. And she didn't phone me back in 5-10 minutes. So I feel a bit bad for not answering the phone, considering I said you could phone me whenever. But yeah, so I'm assuming she's going to phone me again today. So I need to wait for that phone call. Yeah, so I need to find another job, but I don't know where else to look, because that was for a job at the library, and I don't really know where else I'd cope in a job situation, in like a work setting, so I don't really know where else to look for jobs. But my mum said it might be worth waiting until like Christmas. And my birthday, oh, I've got a phone call, but I don't know if it's from the same person. I'm gonna stop this. Goodbye. Sorry, this is a really dodgy ending.